Good morning, everyone. Today we turn our attention to the central Atlantic Ocean, where Tropical Storm Jerry has just formed. Jerry is the 10th named storm of the 2025 Atlantic season, which has seen a surge of activity in recent weeks. Its formation in early October is a reminder that hurricane season remains active well into autumn. Jerry developed over the warm waters of the central Atlantic, a classic setup for late-season storms. As meteorologists, our immediate questions are: how strong will Jerry get, and where is it headed? For now, Jerry is organizing over open water, but its presence signals a shift in weather patterns for those in its potential path. We'll be tracking Jerry closely, providing updates as this story unfolds. Let's take a closer look at where Tropical Storm Jerry stands right now, and what makes this system one to watch in the Atlantic Basin. Breaking down Jerry's current status gives us a clearer picture of its potential impact and the factors influencing its development. As of the latest advisory, Jerry is classified as a moderate tropical storm, packing maximum sustained winds of 45 miles per hour. These winds are strong enough to generate rough seas and dangerous surf, especially for mariners and coastal communities in its projected path. Currently, Jerry is situated about 1,300 miles east-southeast of the northern Leeward Islands. It's moving briskly westward at a speed of 24 miles per hour, which is relatively fast for a tropical system at this stage. This rapid forward motion means Jerry will cover a lot of ocean in a short amount of time. While this quick pace allows the storm to reach new areas faster, it also limits the amount of time Jerry spends over any one patch of warm water, which can restrict how much it can strengthen before encountering land or less favorable conditions. A significant factor in Jerry's movement is a strong ridge of high pressure positioned to the north. This atmospheric feature acts like a steering wheel, guiding Jerry on a westward track and preventing it from turning northward for now. Satellite imagery reveals deep convection, those towering thunderstorm clouds near Jerry's center. This is a classic sign that the storm is organizing and could be on the verge of intensifying further, especially if environmental conditions remain favorable. Meteorologists are closely monitoring Jerry's structure, which is becoming more defined with each passing hour. In fact, Hurricane Hunter aircraft are preparing to fly into the storm soon, gathering crucial data on wind speeds, pressure, and the overall organization of the system. These missions provide invaluable real-time information that helps improve forecasts. The combination of Jerry's current speed, its location over warm Atlantic waters, and the increasing organization of its core all set the stage for what could be a significant next phase in its journey. Forecasters are watching closely to see if Jerry will intensify into a hurricane as it approaches the Leeward Islands. As always, we're keeping a close eye on any shifts in the steering currents or changes in atmospheric conditions that could alter Jerry's course or intensity. The next 24 to 48 hours will be critical in determining how this storm evolves and what impacts it may bring to the islands ahead. Where is Jerry headed next? Current models show Jerry continuing west toward the Caribbean, fueled by warm waters. By Thursday night, Jerry is expected to slow as it nears the northern Leeward Islands, a sign it may soon turn. Most models agree Jerry will curve northwest, then north, likely passing east of the Bahamas and Bermuda early next week. This classic October recurvature pattern often keeps storms away from the U.S. mainland. Remember, the forecast cone shows possible paths, not a single line. Impacts can extend far from the center. The timing and sharpness of Jerry's turn will determine how close it gets to the islands. We'll keep refining the track as new data comes in. Will Jerry become a hurricane? That's the question on everyone's mind as this powerful tropical system churns across the Atlantic, gathering energy and momentum. With each passing hour, meteorologists are closely monitoring its every move, analyzing data from satellites, weather buoys, and computer models to predict what comes next. Right now, the conditions ahead are highly favorable for intensification. The sea surface temperatures in Jerry's path are unusually warm, providing the fuel hurricanes need to grow stronger. Light wind shear means there's little to disrupt the storm's structure, allowing it to organize and potentially intensify rapidly. These are the classic ingredients that can turn a tropical storm into a full-fledged hurricane. Forecasters expect Jerry to reach hurricane status by Wednesday, with sustained winds of at least 74 miles per hour. If the current trends continue, Jerry could even strengthen beyond initial projections, making it a storm to watch very closely. The Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Wind Scale classifies Category 1 hurricanes as capable of causing some damage, but even a minor hurricane can have major impacts, especially for vulnerable communities. If Jerry strengthens before nearing land, the threat level for the islands rises significantly. Residents of the northern Leeward Islands and nearby areas are being urged to prepare for the possibility of strong winds, heavy rainfall, and dangerous surf. Emergency officials are already issuing advisories, reminding people to secure property and review evacuation plans. As it approaches the northern Leeward Islands, Jerry is likely to be a Category 1 hurricane, capable of damaging winds, power outages, and coastal hazards. Downed trees, flooding, and disruptions to power and communication lines are all possible. Even if Jerry doesn't make a direct landfall, its outer bands could bring hazardous conditions to a wide area. After passing the islands, Jerry will encounter cooler waters and stronger upper-level winds, which are expected to weaken the storm as it moves toward Bermuda. This transition is typical for storms moving northward, but Jerry could still bring gusty winds and heavy surf to Bermuda and surrounding waters. Still, Jerry will remain a significant storm, generating large swells across the Atlantic. These waves can travel hundreds of miles, creating dangerous rip currents and rough surf along coastlines far from the storm's center. Mariners and beachgoers are advised to stay alert and heed local warnings. Our focus is on Jerry's peak strength as it nears the Caribbean, where its impacts could be most severe. The next 24 to 48 hours will be critical in determining just how strong Jerry becomes and which areas are most at risk. Stay tuned for updates as the forecast evolves. With every new advisory, we'll bring you the latest information to help you stay safe and prepared as Jerry's story unfolds. The northern Leeward Islands are now on alert. Jerry's forecast track brings it near or just north of islands like Anguilla, St. Martin, and Antigua late Thursday into Friday. Residents should use the next 2 days to prepare, secure outdoor items, check supplies, and review evacuation plans. Watches may be issued soon, signaling the need for immediate action. Even if Jerry's center passes north, the islands can expect heavy rain, gusty winds, and dangerous surf. The severity of impacts depends on how close Jerry's core tracks to the islands. Listen to local officials and meteorological services for the latest updates. Make sure your hurricane kit is ready and your family has a plan. The next 48 hours are critical for preparation. There's good news for the U.S. mainland. As hurricane season continues, many residents along the East Coast have been keeping a close eye on the tropics, wondering if the next big storm could head their way. But for now, they can breathe a sigh of relief. Forecasts show Jerry will not threaten the East Coast, thanks to a strong cold front and a pronounced jet stream trough steering it away from land. Meteorologists have been tracking Jerry's path closely, and the latest models confirm that the storm will curve out to sea, sparing the U.S. from a direct impact. This pattern is typical for October, when the Bermuda High, a semi-permanent area of high pressure in the Atlantic, begins to weaken. As this high-pressure system loses its grip, storms like Jerry are more likely to be pushed away from the coast and curve out to sea, rather than barreling straight toward the mainland. It's a seasonal shift that often brings relief to coastal communities. While the U.S. won't see a direct hit from Jerry, the storm's influence will still be felt. Jerry is expected to generate large swells and dangerous rip currents along the East Coast this weekend. These powerful waves can catch even experienced swimmers and surfers off guard, making ocean conditions riskier than they might appear from shore. Beachgoers and boaters should use extra caution and pay close attention to local warnings. Lifeguards are urging everyone to check for posted advisories before entering the water, and boaters are reminded to stay updated on the latest marine forecasts. Even a storm far offshore can create hazardous conditions along the coast. Even distant storms can make the ocean hazardous. Swimmers, surfers, and anyone near the water should be aware that rip currents and rough surf can develop quickly, sometimes with little warning. It's always better to be cautious and respect the power of the ocean, especially during hurricane season. The U.S. has been fortunate this season, with no hurricane landfalls so far. Many communities have avoided the kind of devastation that hurricanes can bring, and emergency shelters have remained empty. This is a welcome break for residents and first responders alike, who know all too well the challenges of preparing for and recovering from major storms. We'll continue to monitor for any changes, but for now, the mainland can relax and enjoy the calm. Meteorologists remain vigilant, tracking every development in the Atlantic, but at the moment, families can enjoy the beach and boardwalks without the looming threat of a hurricane. Still, it's important to stay alert for surf advisories and rip current risks. Always check local updates before heading to the shore, and remember that conditions can change quickly. By staying informed and cautious, everyone can make the most of this hurricane-free stretch along the U.S. coast. Jerry's formation fits a late-blooming pattern this hurricane season. After a quiet start, the Atlantic has produced several major hurricanes in recent weeks. Jerry is the 10th named storm, continuing a surge of intense activity. The U.S. has avoided landfall so far, a welcome statistic. Comparing recent years, late-season storms are not unusual. 2024 also saw a busy October and November. Climate patterns like El Niño and ocean temperatures drive this variability. Meteorologists are also watching a weak disturbance in the Bay of Campeche, though its development chances are low. Multiple threats can emerge at once, so constant vigilance is key. The National Hurricane Center monitors the entire Atlantic every day. October storms like Jerry have a history of being powerful and unpredictable. Hurricanes Michael 2018, Sandy 2012, Matthew 2016, and Wilma 2005 all struck late in the season, causing major damage. Late-season hurricanes often form closer to land, giving less time to prepare and sometimes taking unusual tracks. They can intensify rapidly and interact with cold fronts, making their paths harder to predict. The lesson: never let your guard down after September. Vigilance is a year-round necessity in hurricane-prone regions. History shows October storms can be just as dangerous as those in peak season. Stay prepared and informed, no matter the month. Jerry is a timely reminder to stay prepared all season long. Make sure you have reliable ways to receive weather alerts, NOAA radios, trusted apps, and official sources. Review your hurricane kit, food, water, medications, flashlights, and chargers. Have a family plan, know your evacuation zone, and include pets in your preparations. Keep important documents safe and accessible. Don't underestimate any storm. Water, not just wind, is often the biggest threat. Always follow local officials' advice and evacuation orders. By staying informed and ready, you can protect yourself and your loved ones. Let's stay vigilant through the rest of hurricane season and beyond.